Do you ever wonder why some days you perform better than others? Why some weeks just fly by and you're in the zone? Why in your relationships you can communicate with your partner easier and better than the previous day? Well, I'm gonna break down a few things for you guys to help you better understand why that actually occurs. Now, it's not something that you probably thought of before, but it's not gonna come as a surprise to you. Okay, stick around. I'm gonna give you guys the 3 P's that I've learned that are gonna help increase your quality of life and help you perform at the highest levels that you guys know you can perform at. The first thing that we have to do is define performance, okay? Because performance can mean a whole bunch of things to different people. Now, it could be on the court if you're an athlete or on the field. It could be if you're at work, or it could be inside of your relationships. What I'm here to tell you is performance is all of those things. The moment that you wake up to the moment that you go to bed, and even the quality of your sleep. So we're gonna define the 3 P's, or what I consider the 3 pillars to increase your quality of life and performance. And those are your physicality, your personal life, and your professional life. What I've come to realize over the last 10 years is if you make progress in each one of those P's, your personal, your physical, and your professional, you are optimizing your quality of life. Now, there's a lot of things that people are like, I don't really understand what that means. I'm gonna get into it. What I mean by your physicality is earn credibility with yourself every day. Do something to make you sweat, to make you feel good, all right? There is tremendous amounts of research that your attitude, your mood, and the regulatory factors that are associated with those things are increased and improved when you sweat and you take care of yourself. Not a lot to argue when it comes to those things. The next one's your personal life. What are you doing to develop yourself every day? I'll give you an example. I do the stair stepper every day. Not because of the physical things that necessarily does for me, but because it gives me time to devote and develop myself through podcasts, book, and other things, okay? What do we know about self-development? It's gonna increase your confidence, it's gonna increase your communication skills, and it's gonna always give you something to talk about with everybody. You're constantly learning. Now, you can combine those 2 things, right? Some people like to run, listen to podcasts, listen to books. Some people like to just read at night and understand and how to gain a greater perspective about this life. The next one's your professional. What are you doing to make sure at work or the things that you do for a living, you're staying on top of? Are you improving at work? Are you going through the CEUs, continuing education units? If you're a physical therapist like me, I like to go to continuing education to make sure I'm staying on top of my game and I'm always getting new resources and different sources of input so that I can continually develop and help out those patients of mine. Okay, if you're a strength coach, are you learning from other strength coaches? Are you constantly being stimulated in your brain to push yourself beyond your intellectual and cognitive capabilities? So once again, the 3 pillars, let's define performance and how those interplay with each other. The 3 pillars are your personal, your physical, and your professional. Those 3 things, if you take time and develop those every single day within the routines and the rituals that you have, you're going to continually improve. Then you're going to continually improve as a person, a husband, a wife, a friend, an employee, or an employer. All right? And the last one is obviously your personal. Are you able to develop yourself? And all of these overlay each other, right? It makes sense that all of these things play a role in how to increase and improve your performance and your quality of life. We're gonna get into the details associated with how that actually happens. The first thing we're gonna do is take a look at a 24-hour period. What do you do from the moment that you wake up, from the moment you go to sleep, and how you go to sleep, okay? Let's talk about nutrition and food for a second. Has anybody ever asked you, what are the foods that you feel really good on? What do you perform well on? What are the foods? Are they bananas? Is it chicken? Is it Chick-fil-A? Is it Chipotle? The odds are that you don't fully understand the foods that you feel very good on. That's the first step. I want you to understand the foods that you perform the best on. I'm not talking that you need to eat 7 meals a day to stoke the metabolic rate, because that's a myth anyway. We're going to talk about how macronutrient partitioning, what that means is how you're eating throughout a 24-hour period to optimize your performance should be the hierarchy of importance for you. So I'm going to ask you a question. What do you need to eat to perform better? Answer that question for you. If you don't know that answer, we're going to find out. Okay. The next one is, what do you perform the best on inside of the gym or when you're at an athletic event or you go for a run, things like that? What do you perform the best on? Answer that question for me. Personally, what do you feel the most mentally clear on? What are the foods? What are the routines that you feel professionally the best on? Answer that question for me. Okay, so in summary, what I want you to do is I want you to answer the question, what do you physically feel the best on regarding food? What do you personally physically feel the best on with food? And what do you professionally feel the best on with food? I'm gonna give you an example. I don't eat my first big meal until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Why? I don't perform well on it. I work out twice without having a substantial meal before 3 o'clock every day because I perform the best on that. So answer those 3 questions for me. What do you personally feel good on? What do you physically feel good on? And what do you professionally feel good on? Answer those questions. If you guys have any questions, drop a comment below. I'll make sure I get around to it. Also, tell me which one of those P's do you feel like you struggle with the most? I'll see you guys.